Turbo!
What are you doing here? This is my day off. I'm not reviewing a game today. I'm just enjoying my day in the park. What do you have in your hands? What is that, audience? Give me that. Crash Twinsanity. You want me to review Crash Twinsanity? Oh man. I reviewed this game years ago on the old Super Hyper Turbo Gamers show on Frickin' Frack. Long time ago. Me and buddy David. But you know what? I guess, yeah, it's a nice day, but you know what? I'll give it a nice good old review and we'll see how it goes. Alright, let me start off by saying this. The original Crash games for the PlayStation 1, minus Crash Bash, are the pinnacle of the Crash Bandicoot series. No game since has surpassed the majesty of the Naughty Dog titles. And yeah, a lot of the games after Naughty Dog, departed from the Crash series were lackluster. I didn't really care for Wrath of Cortex, and Nitro Kart was alright. I find the games by Radical Entertainment to be alright as well. But there's one Crash game I feel is majorly overlooked, and that is Crash Twinsanity.
Crash! Where are you, big brother? There's something weird going on in the bay! Come see!
Twinsanity is the first Crash game, in my opinion, to really take the series in a new direction. Wrath of Cortex and Nitro Kart both played it safe, but this game had a great idea to try to do its own thing, and whenever Traveller's Tales Oxford, ran with it, it came out pretty well, I think. The direction is really more comedic. I like the really, it's very slapstick. It feels very, not as adult, but it feels very Conker's Bad Fur Day or Rayman Origins. In the humor, not saying the old games couldn't be humorous, but this one seems more focused on the jokes.
I'm okay. The spikes broke my fall.
The story is that Crash and Cortex have to team up after these evil birds try to take over the island. That's it. Other characters are sprinkled in with the subplot about treasure, and there's cameos here and there. But the game takes the concept and just runs with it all the way. You're Crash, you're Cortex, and you're teaming up. And that means new ways of playing. Of course, there's their standard Crash levels. They actually recreate a lot of the standard tropes of Crash games, like chase levels and the standard hallway platforming levels.
Oh, Crash. Market is tomorrow, and my wampa trees won't grow, for my orchard is riddled with greedy worms. If you rid my land of these pests, I'll give you this power crystal.
I'm an evil scientist. What do you expect? This isn't a game.
But there are new, exciting ways to play. Like there's levels where you can use Cortex as a snowboard. There's levels where you have to help Cortex, avoid death traps. There's a level where you roll with Cortex through these catacombs. There's just all kind of very, unique ideas here that I think are presented well. And the whole game itself feels very open. There's no hub world. The game just kind of leads on and on and on, which means you can go off and explore, but I don't think you would ever get too lost.
Dr. What have you done?
Who are these evil upstarts?
I've ruined the lives of so many. I can't be expected to remember them all.
Such a big head. Such a tiny brain.
If we deliver him to the evil twins, perhaps they will spare us.
But they'll kill me!
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Crash, I've been like a father to you. I created you, nursed you, tried to destroy you. So what do you say? With my mighty intellect and your vacuous stupidity, we'll be unbeatable! There, to the sea, I tell you! Our salvation floats upon the briny blue! We must reach Engine's battleship, and quickly before it sets sail! But how? Think, Cortex, think!
I kept playing the whole way through because I wanted to see what new cool idea they had next, and I never felt like they reused too many of the ideas. The soundtrack was done by Spiral Mouth. Spiral Mouth is an a cappella band, and you know, they make all the music with their mouth. It's pretty cool. I actually listened to some of their stuff outside of this game soundtrack, and it's pretty cool stuff. They have a cool cover of Spoon Man by Soundgarden. And I personally really liked the soundtrack. I feel like people either love it or hate it. I feel like it's a nice soundtrack. And like I said, the humor is great. I feel it's funny without pandering to a younger demographic. I felt like the Crash games that came after this one, the ones by Radical Entertainment, tried too hard to pander to a younger, like a younger demographic. But I felt like this one got the humor just right. They even took a few shots at themselves, and I felt Cortex is the star of the show here because his character got overhauled, and he turned from the serious evil villain to this likable idiot. Is the game perfect? No, it isn't nearly as polished as the original games. It could be a little buggy, and I feel it's a little short with only 4 worlds and 4 levels. There was actually a scrapped 5th area that they actually make mention of in the game itself. Is pretty funny. But yeah, maybe 1 more world could have helped. Maybe 2 more worlds.
Monster! Let my brother go!
My crystals!
It felt like it was a little rushed. To be honest, it doesn't feel very polished.
I'm stuck! The greatest evil scientist in the world! Stuck in a pipe. How could things get any worse?
And there are collision issues and glitches galore. I can name off the top of my hand at least 5 times while recording this footage that I had issues with the game. But I think this is one of the rare cases where the personality of the game kind of makes up for it. But yeah, with a little more time and attention, this game could have turned out as a platforming classic, but now it's just stuck in this odd middle ground. So overall, Twinsanity, in my opinion, is the best of the non-Naughty Dog Crash games. It's pretty funny and charming, and leaves a lasting impression. I wish they would have continued with this style. But I want to know your thoughts. Did you like Twinsanity? Tell me in the comments. I don't know. It's cool that they're making the remakes of 1, 2, and 3 on PS4. His Return is over needed, and that's what made me review this game. Do you want to see more Crash reviews? I could do more Crash reviews. I'm totally cool with that. But yeah, I feel like for Crash fans, you shouldn't miss this title. So, I'll see you guys in my next review. Goodbye.
Turbo Zone.